Hello everyone, I'm Beasley Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a DC character spotlight on Eclipso. So we're going to be talking about this god. In the beginning, God's spirit of wrath was made flesh to punish the wicked and wash the world clean of vice and um, clean of vice. Then he was known as Galad. Wrath, by definition, is driven by largely by anger, whereas vengeance requires a more discerning hand. In that way, the spirit of wrath was stripped of rank and privileges by its successor, the spectre. Split asunder by God's new appointed spirit of vengeance, wrath's physicality was trapped within the heart of darkness, a black diamond mind on the distant apocalypse that brought only woe and misery to anyone who came into its possession. What remained of God's wrath was banished quite appropriately to the dark side of the moon, with part of its spirit being imprisoned in a massive gem known as the Heart of Darkness. It was housed in the temple somewhere near in Africa. And on October 6, 1890, a party of explorers consisted of an unarmed man and a professor find the temple. And the unarmed man kills the professor rather than sharing in the discovery. On January 12th, 1891, the unarmed man brought the heart of darkness to a jeweler, demanding it to be split into 1,000 identical gems within 1 year's time. On February 12th, 1891, the man returns and the jeweler had finished his task. As the gems seemed to be split as if by magic, the two thugs named Zeke and Deke were then set to kill the jeweler in order to silence him. 1 week later, a judge named Pendleton received a black diamond and becomes possessed by Eclipso, who begins to figure out the limitations of his powers. The splitting of the Heart of Darkness had weakened the prison enough for Eclipso to act. Whenever somebody holding a diamond is angry, Eclipso would be able to manifest. If the person was violent, he would be able to possess them. If they were not, an Eclipso monster, all of which had a variety of forms, but appeared to be of purple smoke, would appear. Eclipso would be compelled to attack, destroy slash murder the source of the host's anger, only then free to act on his own. He also learns that sunlight banishes him. On February 20th, 1891, a Godfried Norton appeared to procure the services of Sherlock Holmes. His wife Irene Adler had been possessed by Eclipso and killed the king of Bohemia. She then breaks through the window to Holmes' study and kills Norton. She's about to kill Holmes when she is stopped by an enraging and eclipsed John Watson. Eclipso released his hold on Adler and is examined by Holmes for clues. Holmes deduced the location of Watson as well as Eclipso's weakness, but is distracted by Irene Adler and overcome. Adler jumps through the skylight to her death to save Holmes, and Watson is freed from the possession. Roughly 1 week later, over 100 black diamonds had been sold. Zeke and Deke came after the man who had the diamonds cut and steal all but one, which was enough for the man to become eclipsed and hunt down the two thugs and kill them. Unfortunately for Eclipso, they had already sold the gems. The mysterious man who had the gems cut was revealed to be Henry Gordon, the time-traveling son of Bruce Gordon and Mana Bennett, who, dazed by his time travel, he intended to stop Eclipso, becoming the one who freed Eclipso by mistake. The first individual known to be possessed in the modern age was prominently a solar scientist named by Bruce Gordon, scratched um, scratched with a black diamond by a witch doctor named Morpha. Gordon was convinced that Eclipso would internally only appear during eclipses, um, which would show his evil half. It was later revealed that Eclipso chose Gordon to slow Gordon's development of solar technology. Eclipso later possessed several heroes and sought to use them to empower himself and destroy Earth, starting with Largon, who had set foot in his palace where most minor annoyance would have amplified into a blinding rage. He had previously possessed only Gordon to convince Earth's heroes he was simply another supervillain hiding his true power. His test case for hero possession was the Creeper, Early in his campaign, he possessed Starman and used his own shape-shifting abilities to keep the heroes he was pursuing off balance. Eventually revealing himself, he pulled the eclipsed hero to the moon where they were punished by the remaining heroes. Revealing he had possessed Starman, he took over all of the heroes and was only stopped by the appearance of Bruce Gordon, who was leading a team of heroes and scientists who he had recruited, who were wielding solar weapons. Freeing the assembled heroes, Gordon turned his attention to Eclipso, setting up a solar bomb in the palace. Eclipso morphed the palace into a gigantic body, into which Starman flew, detonating himself. An injured Bruce Gordon was saved by Lagrange, and the heroes believed Eclipso destroyed, but yet he survived. Eclipso took over the country of Parador. He had planned to use the drug money to build an army and possess a drug lord known as the Count, and later the country's president. He forces scientists to create completely undetectable poison and add it to cocaine. Later, to send a message to Bruce Gordon, he attacks Professor Simon Bennett, Gordon's future father-in-law, and cuts off all of his fingers. Gordon, Cave Carson, the Creeper, and Mona were all captured by Eclipso when they attempted to enter Peridot via the cave system. While this was occurring, Eclipso was visited by Darkseid, who had warned him that expanding his ambitions beyond Earth would not be tolerated. And when they awoken, Gordon and Mona were forcibly dressed in formal wear and have a dinner with Eclipso, where he reveals he has poisoned cocaine shipments and broken Cave Carson's legs and dumped him at the border. He then forces them and the Creeper to ingest black diamonds and releases them, where they are chased through the jungle to the Brazilian border. This was all part of Eclipso's plan, as their escape would make him look weakened. Further, he wanted Gordon to report the tainted cocaine as it stemmed uh, the drug trade. Eclipso's reign of terror was opposed by the Shadow Fighters, led by Gordon. The Shadow Fighters invaded the island, and the initial proved successful, as they disabled Eclipso's security and freed several of the possessed. However, things definitely took a dark turn. A pack of Eclipso's hyenas, likely native spotted hyenas, tear the creeper to shreds. The imposter Manhunter has his spine broken and impaled. Hellcat 2 is slashed up. And when Dr. Midnight 2 tried to save her, she is also fatally wounded. Major Victory and Commander Steel were overwhelmed by sheer numbers and killed. Peacemaker sacrificed himself, crashing his helicopter into a tank to buy Nemesis, Gordon, and Mona Bennett time to escape in a solar-powered craft. Amanda Waller, Bruce Gordon, Mona Bennett, and the director of the Office of Metahumans Affairs, Sarge Steele, were all put on trial by the UN for this failed attempt. Eclipso arrived and threatened the world with nuclear annihilation if the quartet are not found guilty, and tested his arsenal on a small island the Shadow Fighters were using as a base. Simon Bennett is revealed to have been captured by Eclipso just before the island exploded. In light of Eclipso's assault on the UN, a multinational task force, including many superpowered heroes, is created to take him on. While the heroes traveled Pardor, to confront him, the Phantom Stranger arrived on the dark side of the moon and confronted Eclipso, making him aware of his intended to recreate the Heart of Darkness and entrap Eclipso in it. During the final battle in Parador, a giant Eclipso fought a equally giant Spectre, and with the aid of the Phantom Stranger, he was defeated, and the Heart of Darkness was recreated with all of the black diamonds trapped in Eclipso inside. After a short time after this, the Spectre, having had his faith in God shaken, contemplated destroying the human race and was briefly possessed by Eclipso. The Spectre overcame Eclipso and ground the Heart of Darkness to dust, seemingly destroying Eclipso. Alex Montes had lost his cousin to Eclipso and sought a way to use it for his own purposes. He found the diamonds, it is unknown how they returned, liquefied all but one, and injected them into himself. He then covered his body in a binding tattoo learned from Diablo Island. Alex associated with Mordo, and Odessian as the Princes of Darkness and later joined Black Adam's group on Cardok. He became romantically involved with Nemesis. However, Eclipso was able to break free when the tattoo was damaged and killed Soshi. In retaliation, Alex killed himself, leaving only the Soul Diamond. Eclipso then possessed Lois Lane and Superman. He threatened to go on a rampage in Superman's body, but was stopped by Shazam and Captain Marvel, and was forced back into his diamond by the Spectre Force. The diamond then appeared to Jean Loring, apparently at the request of Alexander Luthor. As Eclipso, she enticed the Spectre Force to attack all magic users, and in retaliation for its actions, Nightshade banished Eclipso into orbit around the sun. Crispus Allen, Crispus Allen, the Spectre's current host, tracks down Bruce Gordon, and later, Eclipso once again takes Gordon as a host. So powers. He has a unique physiology. In off-color blue, gray, or purple circles would appear covering the rightmost two-thirds of his face, reminiscing of a partial eclipse. He has energy projection, flight, invulnerability, magic, possession, power disruption, size alteration, and superhuman strength. He has divine empowerment, which apparently, when Eclipso acted as the agent of wrath for the presence, he had virtually limitless power over reality within the confines of his duty. He was stripped of these abilities, but seeks to restore them to end the world. His weaknesses include to the sun, um, darkness restrictions. He could manifest himself on Earth only at night, and only when summoned by a possessor of the Black Diamond. And ancient rules. As an ancient entity, Eclipso is forbidden by ancient laws to personally kill others of his level or face greater punishment, which I find very interesting. So one of the big things is apparently Eclipso is getting retconned, and he's going to have um, ties to Darkseid now instead of God itself. So I'll be very interested to see how that goes. But I thought since he's going to be getting retconned in the DC universe, I would thought it would be interesting to see what his history is before that happened. So there's just a little bit of a history of him, and I wanted to go into more detail about it. So let me know what you guys thought about this character spotlight down below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And if there's a character you'd like me to do a character spotlight on, please let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.